From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.
Good morning. This is Craig Allison with your Morning Pulse for Wednesday, February 25th. We're going to start things off this morning with breaking news that we've been following all morning. So we're going to just throw up this video and give you the latest details that we currently know. The Lincoln Police Department says an officer was involved in a shooting early Wednesday morning. A large police presence could be seen near the Office Depot near 48th and R Streets just after 1:30 a.m. this morning. Our reporter on scene says several cruisers were surrounding the parking lot entrance. Multiple officers were seen going inside the business. Now, our reporter got this footage themselves, and we reached out to Lincoln Police shortly afterwards. We received a response just after 10:11 this morning wrapped up around 7 a.m. from Lincoln Police Department saying they'll be releasing more details during their news conference at 9:30 a.m. We'll be sure to stream that in the latest, but we're going to give you just another look at that video here from that scene and play that out. There we go. And you can see more of that footage there. But again, we'll be live streaming this morning, so be sure to stick with us on the 1011 Now News app and on Roku for all those latest details as we get them this morning. Again, we've been following this all morning, and we'll be sure to give you the latest updates as we get them. Now to our other 6 stories from this morning in our headlines. In national news, former Nebraska Governor Bob Kerrey is resigning from the board of directors for Monolith, a clean energy startup here in Lincoln, over ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Kerrey is mentioned in the files, planning to meet with Epstein for lunches in 2013, years after Epstein pled guilty to procuring a minor for prostitution. This, according to CNN, was when Kerrey was wrapping up his tenure over at the New School, which is in New York. At this point in time, Kerrey has not been accused of wrongdoing and calls the meetings with Epstein a, quote, lack of moral judgment. Your third story this morning, more than a year after 2 men were shot and killed outside a Southwest Lincoln strip club, the man charged in their deaths is set to stand trial today. 34-year-old Christopher Johnson is accused of fatally shooting 39-year-old Carlos Silva and 40-year-old Terrell Jones outside of the Office Gentlemen's Club in May of 2024. Police say an argument escalated into gunfire and Johnson fled to Omaha, where he was later arrested. Johnson faces 2 charges of first-degree murder. If convicted, he faces the death penalty. He's in court at 8:30 this morning. We'll bring you all the latest developments on air, online, and on our 1011 Now News app. Over to your fourth story this morning. Lincoln Fire and Rescue says an unattended campfire is to blame for this burning. The nearly century-old Union Pacific Bridge near Haymarket Park before it collapsed early Monday morning. This is what the scene looked like yesterday as crews continue to clean up the mess. Lincoln police say they're investigating and interviewing witnesses, trying to figure out if the fire was set deliberately. We know nobody has been arrested or cited so far, but the bridge fire started a little before 4 a.m. Monday and collapsed just before 5:30 a.m. LFR was there for most of the day monitoring the area and says the bridge is a total loss. Your fifth story this morning, this is some crazy video from UNO Public Safety showing 2 cars right there, boom, waiting at a red light and the road collapsing, the vehicles falling into the sinkhole there. We'll show that video again, but now OPD says that stretch of road will be closed for several days. Police went to the intersection near 67th and Pacific Streets around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. On the report of the sinkhole, both drivers were able to get themselves out of their cars with no injuries. Thankfully, just a scary looking situation there. A towing company came out and within a few hours was able to hoist both of the cars out of the hole.
And we just heard a loud noise, and I ended up just looking back and seeing 2 cars in the sinkhole. And it caught me off guard a little bit, like a little bit in shock. Didn't know what to think or expect in that moment.
And again, Pacific Street in both directions between 66th and 69th is currently shut down on that. We'll continue to keep you updated if there's any more developments on this. Now throwing things over to sports. 2 sports headlines for you. First up, a 5-0 weekend puts Nebraska softball inside the top 5. Huskers are up to number 4 in the ESPN USA softball rankings. Big Red is off to a blazing start with 5 wins over ranked opponents. This is the first time the Huskers have broke into the top 5 this season. Their next opportunity to get another ranked win comes tomorrow when they're on the road to play number 12 Oklahoma State. So be sure to stick with us as we keep up with that latest news. Now, moving over to the hardwood, Nebraska basketball getting ready for its second to last home game of the regular season tonight. Huskers are hosting Maryland as the team seeks to add another solid win to its March Madness resume. 12th ranked Huskers are coming off a double-digit win over Penn State last weekend. Luckily, Nebraska's offense got back on track, shooting 52% from the field. Big Red could get its 13th conference win of the season tonight, matching a school record set by the 2017-2018 Huskers. But head coach Fred Hoiberg says Nebraska will have to overcome a, quote, tough and aggressive team.
They've won 3 out of 5 and have had some really good wins in that stretch. Beat Iowa, won on the road at Minnesota, and then knocked off Washington in their last one. And it's a team that you can tell they're playing with a lot of confidence, and they play with a lot of energy and swagger. They're tough, they're physical.
Now, Coach Hoiberg says Jamarcus Lawrence and Kendall Blue missed practice yesterday due to an illness, but he's hopeful Lawrence will recover in time for the Maryland game. Tip-off is set for 6 o'clock, and you can watch tonight's game on the Big Ten Network. Now, wrapping things up with your 7th and final story this morning. For former fans of Norm's on 48th and current fans of Ty's Barbecue and Smashies, we've got good news that impacts your morning commute possibly. This morning, Ty's Barbecue is opening up inside the new Super C building on South 10th Street. Last year, Norm's on 48th rebranded to Ty's Barbecue and were bought by the Super C gas station chain, with Norm's grandson, Tyler Sell, taking on the legacy. Ty's team will work to supply Super C's across town with Grab and Go Nebraska Barbecue. He says after working out of a trailer for several years, he's looking forward to having his own kitchen.
Just the smallest things we get excited about, like, oh my gosh, there's a sink right here. We don't have to carry our mop bucket 30 feet. So me and the staff, we've been having a lot of good laughs because we've really worked our butts off and nothing's been convenient for us, and now things are getting a little bit easier. So, I want to make my family proud and kind of carry the name still, so it's awesome.
Ty says he tries to use as many local products as possible to support the Nebraska economy. He appreciates the outpouring of support. Now, story opened a couple hours ago at 3 a.m. That food, though, opened up at 6 a.m. That's right. If you're listening or watching this right now, you can head on over to get some of that breakfast chow, maybe something for lunch. But they're currently open and operating right as we speak. So if you're feeling hungry, there it is. Brand new and open. But that's going to do it for your Morning Pulse headlines for this Wednesday morning. Before we wrap things up, just a quick, brief overview from the situation that was going on this morning. We are still monitoring that police involved, that officer that was involved in a shooting early from this morning. And again, that press conference at 9:30. Be sure to stick with us at 10:11 now. But for now, here's your 7-day forecast and more from Brandon Rector.
Good Wednesday morning. Meteorologist Brandon Rector with you in the 1011 Severe Weather Center. It is going to be mostly cloudy for today. We could have some sprinkles and flurries around this morning, but a better chance of rain and snow develops for us this afternoon into the early evening. Now, the best chance for snow will be in northeastern Nebraska, where we're not looking at much in the way of snowfall accumulation, maybe a dusting to a few tenths of an inch. As far as rain goes, maybe a trace to a tenth of an inch, maybe even up to a 1/4 of an inch, a few isolated locations. So scattered showers and maybe a few isolated thunderstorms will be possible. The best chance for thunderstorms in part of the Panhandle, southwestern, south central Nebraska, and northern Kansas. The rain chance will come to an end as we go through this evening. Temperatures at noon in the upper 30s to low 60s, at 4 around 40 to 65, and at 8 temperatures around 30 to 50. In Lincoln for today, warming up to the low 50s this afternoon.
From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.